Hey YouTubers and travel trailer enthusiasts, look what I'm looking at here. I am looking at a new box on my new travel trailer that holds 2 new batteries. They happen to be in a locked box, and you notice this is not a vented box. Why would you put batteries in a non-vented box? Because they're lithium batteries, and I bought 2 lithium batteries. And I use the same packaging basically to keep them in this box. I'll show you that in some of the preceding videos of how I did it, but also have a description of the box and where to find one. It's lockable, which is what you want with lithium batteries. I went with a shunt right here. This is an Ali shunt that is super inexpensive but very effective. Doesn't have Bluetooth, where Victron or some other Renogy shunt might give you some better flexibility in that it gives you Bluetooth, so you might be able to read your amp hours while you're driving. But I've always felt like I check my batteries when I'm in the trailer, so it comes with a meter, so I just put the meter inside the cab, and I'll show you that. I also have a positive bar because I was running into a few more positive wires than I wanted to deal with. A lot of room in this box after putting the 200 amp hour batteries in. A lot of room in between. And there's a lot of room up in front, so I chose to put the wiring up front with the shunt, and that's worked out really well. So there's a lot of advantages to switching over from lead acid. My dealer put in one lead acid battery that probably had maybe 40, maybe 45 usable amp hours. So I could hardly make it through one night boondocking without it giving out. And it would not operate the slide, but for just a couple times. After that, it would blow fuses, and my trailer jack was whining really hard and heavy. So after I put the lithium on, I don't have that problem at all. Haven't blown a fuse at all. And my jack quit whining, so how about that? No, jack that doesn't complain. But there's other advantages. I mean, lithium will last 4 times longer. It works better in cold weather. Lead acid battery, as you approach 32 degrees, it is going to give you about 50% of its power, where these lithium batteries, you're going to lose a little bit, maybe 15%. But a lot better than the lead acid batteries. So that was one of the big things that sold me. It used to be that cold weather was a problem with lithium batteries because you wouldn't want to charge the battery. You could hurt the battery if you are charging it below 32 degrees. But now these lithium batteries come with battery management systems that shut it off, and so you can't charge with, in cold temperatures, so it protects it. And same thing with high temperatures, it'll shut it off automatically. So that's a really cool feature, I think, and it made it possible to put these batteries out on the tongue. Used to be most people were putting them in the cab. One of the advantages of lithium is there's no hydrogen gas, so you don't have to vent them, and so people thought, well, if it's cold as a factor, then I'll put them inside the coach. And really, you don't need to do that anymore. You can keep them on the tongue, which is a major advantage because that's all your wiring is anyway. And the newer RVs come now with lithium-ready converters, and so that part is good. It's just convincing the dealer to put lithium batteries on that seems to be like pulling teeth. So mine wouldn't do it, so I put them on myself, and it's been a good learning experience. I should say that. So lot more amp hours. I have, with these two batteries now, each one of them is 100, so I have 200 amp hours, and I'm really happy with that, and I don't have any issues. My inverter would not run with my single lead acid battery, but with these lithium batteries, my inverter, which is 1,000 watt, will run just fine, no problem. So not sure why dealers aren't putting on lithium, but they need to. The other cool thing about lithium is prices come way down. It's pretty equivalent. I mean, I know my lead acid battery that I just sold, I looked it up to sell it. They're about $140, but you're only getting 45 usable amp hours. These 100 watt batteries are $340. That's what I paid for each one of these. And just look at one of those at 100 watts. I mean, that's that's essentially almost 3 times the amp hours that you're getting in the lead acid. So if you do the math, I think it's actually the advantage is going to lithium these days. So anyway, and you might as well put 2 batteries in there and double your amp hours. So that's what I did. So and I have 2 solar panels on my roof as well. So it seems to match up really well. So I have a model 2204S, which is been a great trailer so far. We bought it last year. It was a new, kind of one of the first ones off the showroom floor in 22 actually, and it was a 23 model, and it has the lithium ready converter, which is what I was looking for. So stay tuned. We'll show you the box and how we put it together. So my shunt battery meter I put down here between the 2 twin beds. See it down here, and I've got all the other electrical outlets, and there's a USB port outlet, and that's a switch for the lights in the bed. So I think that's going to be a good spot for it, and the cable will reach, so it should work out really well. Okay, you might have noticed a heavier than normal 7-pin cable coming out here, or cord coming out, and that's because I've wrapped it with a couple 6-gauge wires. And the reason for that is I have installed a Renogy 40 amp charger on my diesel truck, and basically that extra plug right here, this little extra pigtail, when I plug into my vehicle here, I have another little plug in here that pigtail goes into, and that is the charger. And the nice thing about that is it charges 40 amps back to the battery if it needs 40 amps, and then it also sequences it as the charge gets closer to full in the coach, so, or in this box. So I'm real happy with that so far. If you're interested in knowing more about the installation of a Renogy 40 amp charger, look for my video on that install for, it was a Ram diesel truck, heavy duty 3/4 ton truck that I put it in. So anyway, we'll go from there. So here's the Amazon box I ordered. It's called a Munerator 30-inch black aluminum toolbox, $111. This is my aluminum box, and I utilized the foam from the battery compartments, what the battery was shipped in. They fit exactly, there's a seam right here, they fit exactly in this box, which was 30 inches long. And I used silverback board, or silver board, on the inside. I made sure that this was straight on the sides here, so it should hold the battery nice and firm. So this is the framework where the old Campco box used to be, and I found these blocks. I put these 2x4s together and painted them black, and this will bridge the framework across where I can screw down the new aluminum box for lithium batteries. So here's the aluminum box mounted on the frame of the trailer. I used these blocks as I showed before, and I reused the holes from the old box. I just drilled or just to put screws in those blocks to hold the aluminum box or the blocks down, and then I put new screws from the bottom of the aluminum box down into the wood. So holds very tightly on the frame, and it works out real well. Then I ran the wires up the right side, right where they were, drilled a hole on this right side of the box, and brought all the wires back up just like they were before with the old Campco box. So this is a great box, lockable box. Another thing that I did was I added this lamp since I had some extra power with the lithium batteries, and I bought this lamp at Target. It makes for a nice reading lamp beside the two twin beds. I bought this lamp at Target, as I mentioned. I just simply drill a hole through the base and put a little grommet in there for the cord, and then I go down below through this cabinet. One of the nice things is there's 12 volt power right below this, so I just basically spliced into that 12 volt power off of that plug and replaced the bulb with a 12 volt bulb, and it makes for a great lamp off of 12 volt. So I would recommend that if you have a table between two beds. This makes a nice lamp and stows away pretty easily too. I just basically turn it and stuff it down, wrap it with bubble wrap and stuff it down between. There's quite a bit of space between here, and it travels really nicely there, and worked out really well. I'm listening to my new Sirius radio that I just installed with all this newfound power that I have with lithium batteries. Let me turn this down a little bit so I can think. So this little satellite radio, I think it was about $60 on Amazon. I think it was Amazon. I'll put a link to that on the video or description of the video. It just is a sweet little unit that just glues on to the, I glued it onto the valance in the back. The glue that came with it, sticky pad, wouldn't stay on, so I actually ended up using Gorilla Glue back here. That's the white glue you see back here, and that is holding really well. So I also drilled one single hole back here to accept one wire. Inside this cabinet, you'll find I have a male 12 volt plug that that is an adapter as well that came with the radio. This is called a Rode BT. And it Bluetooths over to the Connect TV extremely easily, and but that adapter accepts the antenna wire, so you've got the power and the antenna in there on that adapter, and it runs both of those signals or both of those functions out on a single cord to the radio on that. It makes for a nice clean installation. So anyway, the only other thing that I had to do is run the antenna wire, and my antenna wire ends up going out right where all the rest of the antenna lines for the TV and cable go out at the top, and are all bunched up underneath or behind the microwave, and then they go up through the roof. And so that's what I did. I just followed that line in. I took the microwave out with 4 screws. I fed it up through the hole onto the roof, and pulled out enough line. I think I bought extra cable I'll have the description of everything that I did for this radio in description for the video. But I had enough wire to run it then over to the ladder in the back of the trailer, and I put a trucker's antenna on the ladder. I'll show you that installation in just a second. And that antenna was, I think, $55. So 55 and 60, and then maybe, oh, and I bought a 12-volt female plug that I could plug that into behind the television, and that I just spliced into the television wire, which is 12 volt. So that was easy peasy. I mean, that was a nice, easy installation, and I think it's one of my best upgrades, most satisfying one as far as enjoyment goes for the money. The other thing that happened when I called Sirius Radio, they were running a special. They sent me a special for one of my cars, and I used that, and it was $3 a month. That's all I'm paying for, I think, 3 years or something like that. So anyway, you can talk to them and get a pretty good deal. But you know, anymore, satellite, boondocking is iffy, I think. And if you're paying $50 or $80, you expect service, and I don't think everybody always gets it. That's an awful lot of money, particularly for my RV, sits an awful lot of the year. So for $3 a month, I'm not too concerned about it. So that, I think, is going to be a good investment for me anyway. Okay, and here is the antenna that I bought. It was Trucker's antenna. I can't remember the brand name, but I'll have a description in the video description. And it just clamps right onto the ladder. And then I used RV repair tape, 4-inch repair tape, and I put caulk over the top of it. I wanted to secure this line to the roof. And I have and it goes on over to just the other side of that Teton antenna. It goes down there into behind the microwave. And you can see I have some other lines running across the top of the trailer, but I wanted this one to be secured to the roof. Anyway, this works out really well. So that's the end of my video. I hope you've been able to pick up some tips, and I hope that you seriously consider putting a lithium battery in your trailer if you don't have one already. If you don't have a new trailer, then you might want to research it a little bit, because your converter might be old and not accept lithium batteries. You might have to convert that with a new module, or a whole new converter to accept lithium batteries. But so that would be a little added expense. On a side note, the two lithium batteries that I put in the trailer are called, the brand name was Vater, V-A-T-R-E-R. And I noticed that the price has come down even more since I bought them. I think I paid $340 each, and I think they're $222 now. But I've also noticed that they're out of stock with Amazon. But I'll still put the link down in the description on the video. So hopefully this, like I say, gave you some new ideas, and or stimulated some of your own ideas to complete your projects and enjoy some added power